Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. I am flowing through the days and the months and signs. The sign for this video is Leo. Welcome, Leo. Welcome, other signs that want to watch this video, or um, if you have Leo in other parts of your chart, welcome. This is going to be a mini reading in the beginning of the Circle of Friends for the Bear Part 2. I'll brush up on a couple of things for that in the beginning of the video, and then I'll start pulling cards so the whole video is the reading. And I am in the process of moving, so there's some of the boxes, and I have more to pack. I wanted to show um, something that I painted for my second tarot deck coming up, because you could see that I have the paint rack there, but I threw out the paint since it was going to dry up in storage. Um, I painted this last year. This is the back of my second deck, and I wanted to continue painting that deck when I am in Europe. So this is already in a frame, and it's a sunflower. So this isn't going to be the reading of the bear video, at least in the beginning, because I did want to transition into other energy and messages too. Um, I would say that the bear seemed eager to talk today, as if he wanted to give the messages on what to say for my video. And I am not going to do that video. It's not the right time to do that reading. I feel like there wasn't a proper introduction between um, my energy and asking questions, from asking the questions, because the bear energy, the primal energy, or the source, it seemed really off guard. And this energy came back um, to say a couple of things. The last couple of days, it was one that was kind of determined to come back, and then it wasn't the right time. And I feel as if it's almost like trying to think about it as micromanaging, as if the bear would say, um, are you micromanaging me? And then I would say, no, I just came to ask some questions and to see what you would say. And basically, it was like, if you're gonna try to micromanage me, I'm gonna micromanage the fuck out of you. And I would say, I don't know how productive that would be, to be honest. I would say I definitely have more of a free spirited, spontaneous, a little bit chaotic, defined as a human tornado type of energy for me. Um, I guarantee you, if you follow me on a forest path, there will be so many detours because I will pet every forest animal that I encounter. So, I mean, maybe the bear might find something out about me that I don't know about myself. So, I mean, I'm always open to new information. But as of right now, it's not the time to do that. Um, I do have a couple of decks for this video. I've been enjoying putting some decks in here because in my little studio, I have this bed, like tray from IKEA or IKEA, and so that's what my laptop is on. And I have like decks that are underneath it, so because I don't use one side of my bed. I mean, I clear it, but it's nice to have this bag here. And a rare occasion for a video is that my other cat is here. This is Gary. Gary, what did you say? Don't say stuff like that. That's rude. I found him in a forest in Massachusetts. Actually, accidentally ran him over, but he survived and now he's here. It's been like, what? It's been a long time since I found, or we found each other, but he likes me. Okay, so I'm going to use the Slavic Legends Tarot. Uh, Heaven and Earth Tarot. The Tree Angel Oracle deck. I've been really loving this Tree Angel Oracle deck. It's one of my favorite Oracle decks because I find that some Oracle decks are, they're very potent in a soft way. This is more direct, and um, I like those types of messages. I think it has a clear way of communicating. I also wanted to say that a couple other cards that I pulled out from my Feather Omens deck that I have on one of my bookshelves. It was saying to be careful of the choices that you make. A new path is opening. And there's another card of like courtship and mating. So it could have to do with partnerships and really defining and grounding what is important to you as you're starting up with it. Definitely great for groundwork and foundational energy. It's important to lay those boundaries down. so that it'll be stronger and more evident in the long run. It won't be as cumbersome when you go further into it and you realize these new things that could have been addressed in the beginning. And of course, it's always nice to learn new things about each other. It's good to keep some surprises going. Um, but in terms of what you'll tolerate and what you won't, it's really good to have. And um, I think that other people or a person, depending on what this pertains to, will appreciate that too. I have the Tarot of the Golden Wheel, the I put the steampunk tarot in this one. I hand sewn this. It's, I just used some old clothes or an old blouse that I had that I was using. But now I have a sewing machine, but it's still nice. And the Theater Dolls Tarot, these would be the decks that I'm reading from for this reading. I just had to get the Slavic Legends Tarot because I don't keep it in the box, so I don't keep opening it and damaging the box. Um, the Nine of Pentacles is at the bottom, which is amazing. I also ooh, I also have a solidite crystal. Here I am, just bringing out the crystals. It's honestly like the first year I've been actually using them because I have some here and there. I was gifted this with a deck that somebody sent to me, which I really appreciate. It was a deck and book set. Actually, for the Circle of Friends with the Nine of Pentacles, it's a specific and interesting energy. And I always feel like when I am going on these mini journeys, I would say, on finding things, finding answers, um, information. I I feel like I have like a cap and a backpack, like a tourist or like a traveler. And I go through these places and I encounter things and I'm like, hello, I'm looking for this. Can you help me with it? And then sometimes the being is willing to help, and other times I'm as skeptical as they are of me, so I tend to keep my distance. But I don't like uh, forcing my energy somewhere. And I also don't like having something try to accept my energy as a trap either. So with this Nine of Coins, the Nine of Pentacles, I feel like the bear considers this being as part of the circle, but it's like the word that I'm getting is disposable because with the Nine of Pentacles it seems skilled. Like that building that was specifically made and designed by somebody. Um, not getting the name right now. I'm sorry, but it's that building that was designed in that area is very custom. And then once the creator was finished, it was that was it. That's the only thing. This also feels like, because earlier today, um, it was it felt that the message that I was getting is that is motherland. So this person specifically is in their native land, not in like a foreign country. What's interesting about this energy is that this energy knows the position that they're in. They know that they're just favored enough to get um, some type of approval. But I also feel like in my head, what was coming to me was like somebody like kind of praying or somebody in a way like hoping for the best. That maybe they'll be favored enough to where um, things will hold. And that could be linked to the cards earlier that I was getting with be careful with the decisions that you make. So this feels like a person with an important task. And as I'm getting that, like, I mean, there's a lot of fiber and everything that's in my apartment. So it's not surprising that sometimes, like, my throat feels like there's like a fiber in there. But I'm definitely getting like scratchy throat, like not wanting to say or do the wrong thing. And yet, this person is close. I feel that in this energy, it feels a little submissive. And yet they're in a position that is more established because the Queen of Pentacles comes out and with the Nine of Pentacles. So these are both established cards. And I like the interpretation in the Slavic Legends Tarot too of the Queen of Pentacles because she has a coral necklace. And that is more of a stone that is traditionally associated with like a status or somebody that has money. In the future is the devil card, and I wouldn't worry about the literal card, but it feels like the energy is in too deep to back out now. It feels like this person, it kind of feels like energy of like I just made a deal with the devil. That's what it feels like. Um, it's just a saying, but what I'm getting is like the phrase in too deep. Like somebody just went way too far into this to turn back now. And it kind of feels like somebody's getting a headache. With the Queen of Pentacles, there's a goat here with the horns. And sometimes horns on different types of horned animals, multiple horns can come out and they can like entangle in each other to where it gets uncomfortable. Like it feels that there's like an apprehensive energy that comes out of this. And as I said with In the Motherland, I have the Two of Wands with it being Dominion. And them having like a long coat that seems like it would be somewhere that's frigid. And it feels that the energy is making nothing into something. Because with that environment, it's hard to really prosper in that way unless you know that type of environment. When I was talking about poison ivy in the last reading, in the format or like the formation of the general formation of where the leaves are, of course, this is poison ivy, but it reminds me of that too. So if you're holding that poison ivy, of course, like not literally, is it hurting you or are you using it the other way around? I feel like it would probably be the other way around, but needing to handle it carefully too. Again, knowing the ins and outs of not just the land, but there's something that they're specifically, it's like they got a degree for something specific and that's what they are doing. Then with the Princess of Cups, there's dolphins here. So what did they invest in? Because they had the Four of Coins in the past, and now they're far too deep with the Devil card. I do feel like I don't weave in my head sometimes if you don't see it. It's like it never existed. This was reversed, the Eight of Cups. It's like if you were taking a stroll, what was supposed to be a stroll, instead of like a 45-minute walk, it's like 5 hours instead. There's something just, um, I feel that this person didn't think that it would take this long to finish what they sought out to do. And I feel that's where the frustration is that comes from the bear because it kind of looks like, well, you're not doing your fucking job because this should have been done by now. And even the bear, like in the beginning, um, was saying that. I'm getting like super high anxiety from this person. It's like they get a super intense reaction when something doesn't go as planned. It's like no, 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 no. I had to fix this. I had to do something to make this actually work. It has to do with the merge because the lovers is here. What I'm thinking, because I am thinking a little bit outside the box. This person might be in charge of their own land, but they are in their motherland. And now things are caving in too. So it would be keep your enemies closer with that. And that's why they're disposable. Because this small argument or disagreement or like a peaceful offering, just really escalated in a way where they weren't expecting it to. And even in the obstacles, the Sun card. Because their land could have been prosperous before or could have been represented by that card, the Sun. But overlapping it again is the Five of Cups. So if it really is who I think it is, because the Five of Cups, although it can seem like, especially if you're in the situation, worse than what it is. And of course, things look like they're pretty severe, but in the grand scheme of things, I would look up to things improving. Because with the world is like an expansive card. It's almost like barriers were broken, like fences, something that just really tears a foundation or like the exterior or like a cell wall, something that just feels exposed with the world card. It's like if your house lost its walls and then its full exposure. Because in the circle of friends, for this person, it's keeping your enemy close. So, but to overcome the obstacle, which is the Sun card, which isn't a good position for the Sun to be in, it's almost kind of like eclipsed in that way. You have the Empress and the Ace of Cups. Because with the Empress, again, building that foundation, and it does take time. Also representing Mother Earth, and birthing for things to fully develop. And during pregnancy, you'll want to eat healthier, have healthier habits, make sure that you go to your doctor visits. Like, this is a special time that takes special care, but it doesn't mean that it needs to be the Five of Cups. Because it feels daunting, but it's matched with the Ace of Cups, which is a great card to have for this because the Ace of Cups still gives you the ability to dream, the when the emotions rise high. I feel like that's what it is. Because today I was just feeling such encouragement because I was getting like that circle of light of like these energies that I feel were emanating with these crystals. And I would just, what I get is like a vision of like a circle, and it's like this um, blue and yellow aura in a way, or energy that are those colors. And there's just such a tenderness that comes out of it. And the past couple of days, it was interesting because I felt like groups of energy that gather in this area specifically like to watch something, and then like earlier today it was like they're further away from that device or the thing that they were watching on, but still keeping an eye as if like you're waiting for those messages to come, and you're like still eager and excited to hear them. So I feel like that's the most important, that really helps guide and lets the sun shine in those moments of feeling that there's too much darkness. It's good to have healthy reminders too. I would say this is a different grandfather energy. This is my grandfather, and he was a chef. And with my, again, chaotic energy, sometimes, especially when I had a long day and I just feel that, this is the adulting life, and um, my phone is like my notes on my phone. It's like such a mess because it's a bunch of random stuff of what I'm keeping track of. And I don't really do planners, but I do keep a lot of stuff on my phone. And so even when I cook, like honestly, sometimes the second I put the stove on and then I sit down to maybe knit or like wind down, I just forget that I'm cooking. And then it's either I smell it or my grandfather like comes up and he's like, my child, please, like, remember. So healthy reminders and keep them consistent too. It's good to remember important details, and even if they're just important to you, they're important to you for a specific reason. There was this movie, it was like a person that was developing Alzheimer's, and she was established in the area that she's in. And she, as like her Alzheimer's was developing more and more, she had like specific notes to make sure, like before it got to that point, of what she needed to do. The Queen of Pentacles is coming up again. So this could be a masculine or a feminine energy. Like it could be a, I'm getting like it's a male, but in a feminine energy. And it's pretty domesticated too. Like they're tidying up things around the house. And it doesn't need to be just like your immediate home. I feel like it is the whole environment that is getting the cleanup. And what's important with the Pentacles is associated with Earth. And what's important with the Earth, it needs the sun to grow for things to be healthy. And then the sea is blue though, because you also, for plants to grow with water. There's just pulling these resources, and that's an important aspect of Pentacles, especially with the court cards and the Queen and King of Pentacles, because they know that they need these specific resources that might be outside of their own for for assistance. So I feel like with this Queen of Pentacles, or the male that's in feminine energy, again, I'm not judging, it's just what I'm getting from the reading, um, that they're getting external resources in order to tidy things up. And again, with taking time, because another card that has to do with time is the Seven of Pentacles for sure. Also a Pentacles card. It's heavy Pentacle energy, which isn't surprising if your environment is destroyed. Um, it's a nurturing type of energy. You need to give what the earth needs in order for it to grow again. This has to do with again your external environment. It can also have to do with the people too, of what's necessary. Um, because of course the people need nutrients too. There's also wanting to put themselves out there more, because I was trying to find a different word because I didn't want it to come out in the wrong way at all. But the word that I was getting is stage. And I was like, what does stage have to do with it other than it's the Theater Dolls Tarot? Because it's almost like the outside looking in with the Nine of Swords. And then things, like trying to rush things to come in. It's almost like expedited shipping type of energy with the Eight of Wands. Like trying to really get the attention, or trying to like get the crowd in order for the resources to come in for the Seven of Pentacles, because the Queen of Pentacles knows that they need these other areas that are known to have these resources come in to help the land grow again, to help the people thrive again. And you have the Emperor with that too, because the Emperor is associated with Aries. I know this is a Leo energy, Uh, it is good that it's in a Leo energy though, because Leos are also associated with the King of Wands. I don't have the King of Wands in here too, but it is high energy that you can get for the Eight of Wands. There is a high persistence, a high and dire need to put this out there. Um, and you have the ships coming in because that's what I was getting. I was getting um, water with the Two of Wands with Dominion as if ships were coming in. Because I was also thinking, like, well, if this person is from the motherland or of their land and they know their land, um, why was I getting water in that way? But it could be neighboring or external because you have the world card in this reading too in the present. Well, this will be the main reading, so it's getting that to that time. I'm also getting an important message at Spirit specifically because I was like thinking earlier today of how this dress, it reminds me of like um going on the like a Tuscany type of trip or something. I've never been. It's funny because I was talking to one of the immigration consultants, and then they're like, "Do you have any family in the UK?" And then me, I was like, "Does Italy count?" And the silence after that, and of course, um, they just said, "Oh, it's just UK." I'm like, "Oh," and then no, I don't. Um, of course, my trips would usually be yarn motivated too, but in a sense, I feel like the point of it is that to always have a good perspective on money. I know that for a lot of those times where you go through lack, um, what you're going through is what your mentality is going through. But it is important to have an off switch to a certain extent. Of course, you can really internalize what's going on because that's vital too. But um, I guess the mantra would be that you have money no matter what's in your bank account. And it almost feels like pulling a rabbit out of a hat because, like, with the Queen of Pentacles in this reading too, um, although that isn't necessarily groundwork for this energy, it's like you're kind of, you know, this one, you know, this, you know, that, you know, this person who has this, you know, this person has that, and just getting all of your ducks in a row in a way. That could also be with the Knight of Pentacles, although it has a swan on the card. I'm getting like, you know, the saying of it's going to pass because you have the Ten of Swords, but then matched up with it, because you get a lot of these cards, like you get like opposite energies, like with the Five of Cups and the Sun card in a way. And that's also an obstacle. So it reiterates it. But if you're seeing the Five of Cups is only in the minor arcana in the cup suit. And then you have the Sun card. It's a super dominant card. It's um, one of the most dominant cards that you have in the deck. And so there isn't really a comparison, but there is the obvious opposites um, that are there. Could also be the people that help the Queen of Pentacles, this male and the feminine energy, um, from different areas or walks of life. There's just something that defines them in such a other or worldly way for this Queen of Pentacles to a point where maybe they don't even speak the same language for the most part, aside from English. But there does seem like there is relief with it. And of course, things can come and go, but for the most part, it's really emphasizing to build that strong foundation that makes it impenetrable or unbreakable. That if things got destroyed already, you might as well make them 10 times stronger than they were before. Um, and that really goes for putting your resources to areas of a company or a partnership or a country, investing in those areas that are truly part of that foundation. Even with your body, this, like your immunity, that helps keep the balance and to fight off things that wouldn't be beneficial for you and would be harmful for you. Because, as they say, like your body is a temple. So you have to treat it as such. There is a riskiness too with the Two of Wands because is that saying too? Um, like a ship is safe along the shore or at the bay, but that's not what ships are made for. So there's also that emphasis of that danger could be around the corner, but again, with building that foundation and impenetrable walls, those types of things, doesn't need to be physically, but to if you're prepared for those things, I really feel that there's a lot that can come out of this because there's heavy duty labor of like making sure that you know like what's your bread and butter. No, this is really good. So so this isn't really a friend then. This is just keeping your enemies closer. Okay, I'll and as I said that, I just cut the deck and I got the Sun card again. Because with I feel like with the bear, they have something that the bear wasn't able to experience or the bear didn't have. Um, and that could be like with the frigidness. Because a couple of readings ago, I thought it was interesting too, because I was getting like the bear's on vacation. And I was getting like, basically, you're going to mm, like an island getaway type of thing, where it feels like you feel the sun is on your face. You feel warmth. You like you actually feel warm for once in your life. Just kidding. But it's kind of like that, where the bear didn't have those things. And that's why I was getting like, oh, you're on vacation? Again, with heavy reminders for things, it's good to be consistent and not to put things off at the last minute. Because you see with this chariot card, you see that there's candles around, and there's this one candle that's just, off to its side and it's lit and everything. And it kind of reminds me of like, luckily my hair curler is, it turns off automatically after a certain amount of time. But sometimes I just leave it on. I don't know. I like when I walk by, I'm like, oh shit, and then I turn it off. But and again, an emphasis on, because it looks like, because the curtain is on each side, the curtain is black and white, and then going in between and finding that balance. This is on the this is on the Hermit card. Then you see that there's a match on the floor, and then the apple was um bitten into. Kind of reminds me of like the Adam and Eve story, and then um again with the match and the flame off to its side. Like there's a lot to look around and see and to take care of, but it is, if you can, one manageable step at a time. There is a faithfulness to this, though. I got this twice. I cut the deck and then I didn't show it, but there's a Hierophant, and the figure has like, it kind of looks like in the courtroom when you had to swear on the Bible or something, or whatever religion that you are. And it kind of feels like a promise. And it almost feels presidential too. So I'm going to pull out a card from the Tree Angel Oracle deck. Oh, this is a repeat card. And I did shuffle the cards. So this is Hornbeam. So I'll read Hornbeam again. Most holy sanctum, innermost kernel, for which you are ready to die, for which you are not quite ready to live, protect the flame. You are the guardian of the mysteries and the master's silent servant. So that's interesting with protecting the flame, because the flame, like if you put it off to the side, like there's a risk that the flame would go out. from the last two cards of having it, like with the Chariot card and the Hermit card. So, especially like with the Ace of Cups, I know Cups is associated with water, but it is like that light or that ability and the, I guess, daring to dream and to live because water is the embodiment of life. And it really goes into every fiber that we have. It affects us, it shapes and molds us, it takes that shape of whatever situation, whatever moment that it's put into. So, um, with the Hierophant again to keep that faith going on it. At the corner of every truly sacred place, we are awakened to the new level of consciousness, a new way of being. This is where humans can relate to other realms within the multidimensional universe. Sacred places are spiritual gateways. At times, accessing these gateways are arduous tasks demanding great concentration and a constant flow of pure energy. Sacred places such as temples are surrounded by protective walls to facilitate this. Stone walls are very effective, but each stone is also dead material and can shut out the outside world too much. The best protective screens for a sanctuary by is a living hedge, and in temperament climates, hawthorn and hornbeam are ideal. Hornbeam protects the sacred grove and is the true keeper of mysteries. It is a mature and measured warrior, and many more qualities than its modest manner would suggest. Hornbeam protects our spiritual motives, gives us insight and self-awareness that imparts good sense and sincere intentions. For the hornbeam to live a simple and modest life is enough, like the Zen master living in the maxim. Before enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. Practical and with secure roots, it knows its job and finds fulfillment in the task itself. Hornbeam is a servant and serves the silence. Spirit is the master, and Hornbeam guards the master's chamber. If the angel of Hornbeam is expelled from its rightful place, we cannot perceive boundaries, with the result that we ignore the needs of others and to have their own space. Furthermore, we begin to deny the spiritual aspect of nature. Um, for building, before I end the video, I just wanted to say that if you are physically building something, or even figuratively, and you're building from the ground up, with each stone or within each thing that you place on top of the other, maybe you're really working with wires or something, you can associate them with prayers, um, prayers that these foundations will be strong, or whatever spirituality or religion you're associated with. Um, make it strong and make it meaningful. If you say it, actually mean it. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.